Hello, hello again, my good friends. Good to see everybody who might be in here. I know it's going to take a minute. It's fine. It's fine. You guys do you. It's all good. Alright, so we're going to finally finish this swamp painting that I started last week. And we're going to finish it up. I'm pretty excited about it, actually. I haven't really set up any of my colors yet because I like to do that on camera. So, let's see. Where are we going to start here? Let me make sure. Hold on a second. Hold on just a moment. Okay. So I have my paintbrushes wetting here. Just like normal. Kind of zoom you guys out a little bit. Hey, Wrath of Wood! Good to see you, man! Glad to have you in here hanging out with us. Yeah, I wanted to finish up this painting. I'm kind of like, I know I started it last week, and I'm kind of like giving myself like time between each one, you know. Not 100% sure if that's going to be a consistent thing. Like, in other words, like a week between each painting stream. But so far, I kind of like how it's been going that way. So we'll definitely see. I've got my palette here. Forgot to clean it, but whatever. I'm slowly becoming a very, very dirty painter. I shouldn't, but that's what's happening. Oh, you missed the part 1, Wrath of Wood? Well, this is what we've got so far. As you can see, only the top portion is done, and I might still add just a little bit more as we go along. But we're going to be primarily focusing on the lower part down here. I definitely want to get some more green going, you know, for all the different areas, because I worked on the green a little bit, but I could have done a lot more with it. So let's get some paint going here. I'm also going to kind of tear off some of these dried paint splotches, because they're kind of in the way, and I might need some room for my paint on here. And I should probably change this paper the next time I get the chance. I have a pad of like these special painting papers, which is really nice because I mean that way obviously I'm not, you know, getting paint all over my actual palette. But I also like to, like, I only have the one pad, and I kind of like to use it a few more times, like multiple times rather than just only one single time. Am I going to need this white? I feel like I will need this white. So I'm probably just going to add like a tiny little dab. I don't want to put too much on here. But yeah, I kind of like to recycle the painting papers a little bit because, I don't know, it's just easier that way. Like, I mean, obviously it's saving the amount of paper that I'm using whenever I do this. But also a major part of it too is having the older colors, like all these older colors like that are dried up and not usable on the paper, gives me a kind of reference point to how to, like, for example, like I can like say like, oh, I made, you know, this pink over here, right? And I need more pink, but this pink is dry, so I can like set up a bunch of colors on my palette and then like start mixing like a new pink next to this old dry pink. And because I have it as a reference point, even though it's unusable, I can keep mixing my pink over and over again to the right coloration of the one that's dried on the palette paper. And that's really helpful to me. It makes it so that like I can, like, for example, like if I'm doing, like I said, like I'm doing this painting, I started it last week, and here I am trying to finish it off this week. And so some of the colors might be kind of hard to like reestablish, but if I have like the coloration here of like the previous color that I used, I can have a better chance at recreating it once I've you know, started putting the new paint on there. So that's kind of why I like to do that. I think I saw... Hey, yeah, Rebecca's in here. Good to see you, girl. I hope you were... I saw your message on the Discord. I hope you're having an easy time coming back, hanging out with everybody, and recovering and all that. So it's really nice to have you in here. So you just kind of relax and hang out, and we'll do some painting. It'll be a lot of fun. I don't even really remember like what particular color I wanted to work on. I can see I'm going to need black, so um, obviously I'm going to need some more black. We're probably going to have to establish a green color. Purple is a must, so we are going to make some purple. Um, yeah, let's just get our base colors down, and I'll just keep that in mind that I definitely need to make some purples. So we're definitely gonna do that. And I don't like to add a lot of black, just like a teeny tiny little dab, because I don't want to waste it. And we're gonna need red and blue, obviously, for our purple. So I'm gonna go ahead and put like a little tiny dab of, well, maybe not so tiny, maybe like a medium-sized dab of paint, I guess. Maybe more than that. Yeah, that seems appropriate. And then we're going to grab some blue over here. Ooh, let me just kind of knock that light around a little bit. Sometimes I got to beat up my equipment every once in a while, just to show it who's boss. You know? You're like, I'm the boss around here. Whap, whap. Let's see, red, blue. We'll just go ahead and start mixing some purple, because I think that'll give me something to do. And we'll just kind of talk a little bit while I'm mixing it up. There's a couple of really cool things I wanted to talk about. One of them is, one thing is about the channel. Rebecca says, I have stitches, staples, and a couple drains, but some good pain meds too. Oh, well, alright, girl. Gonna get high? Hey, man, well, whatever you gotta do to take care of yourself, you know, you gotta do it. And, you know, doctor says, take these pain meds, take care of yourself, you gotta do it, girl. Okay. So, I'm really excited. When, I definitely gotta talk about this, because I'm super duper excited. Obviously, the other day when I did a video game stream, Richard Lash went ahead and donated $150 to the channel. And that donation is specifically really wonderful simply because I used it. I didn't use all the money already, obviously, but I used a good portion of that money to actually fund this channel. So I'm actually expecting some new equipment to come in to make everything nicer and better for you guys. I specifically went and bought some lighting equipment because my lighting has been driving me nuts. I keep wanting, because like I'm using this little wonky light here, you know, that I'm messing around with, and it gets the job done. But I've needed some relatively nicer quality lighting because I'm having trouble with shadows and making it clear so you guys can see the picture and the painting and all that stuff. So I am so excited because I ordered them yesterday. I did a whole bunch of, I know I didn't stream yesterday, but I did a whole bunch of changes, you know, for my channel specifically. Like I was doing... one of the things is that I've decided to actually reach out a bit more and advertise my channel a bit more. So I actually spent a bunch of time yesterday changing my Facebook page to heavily advertise my YouTube channel. And I was a little nervous about it, you know, because it may sound kind of weird, but, like, for a while now, my YouTube has kind of been this secret. Like, I mean, obviously, it's not a secret, because I have my family is kind of a part of it, and my very close friends are a part of it, and I have all of you guys. I have, like, 80 people. My subscription count went up to 80 today, guys, which is awesome. I'm so happy about that. We'll hit that 100 subscriber mark in no time, and I'll do a special stream for a 100 subscriber special, so I'm pretty excited about that. But, you know, I kind of decided that I definitely, like, with the amount of progress that this channel's been going on, which has been a great, happy, exciting surprise to me, and I've been having so much fun hanging out with you guys and doing all this stuff, I finally decided, well, maybe it's finally time to let, you know, not, like, obviously, like, I've told my friends and my family about it, but I haven't necessarily told the general public around me about it very much. And like, just like, like my peers, like, the people I've kind of talked about it a little bit to my coworkers, but I've not really like shown them a direct route to the channel or anything like that. Like, I just kind of talk about it offhand here and there every once in a while. And I finally decided that I'm a lot more comfortable with advertising my channel to people that are closer around me. And so that was a major change that I did. I turned my Facebook yesterday basically into a giant, because I don't use my Facebook for anything. Like, I barely check it ever. So I just kind of decided, like, I'm going to use my Facebook as an advertisement vector for my channel. So I did that yesterday. And I mean, that didn't take too long to set up. I definitely kind of had to mess around with a few things that I don't have a lot of experience in. By the way, I got a nice little purple going here. So, yeah, just this little purple. We're going to test it on the painting, but it looks alright. Like, it's got a nice coloration. It's a little bit lighter than the previous purple, but we're going to test it out and see how it works. So yeah, I kind of, like, I did a bunch of things to kind of improve my channel without actually streaming yesterday. And, like I said, I turned my Facebook into a advertising vector for the channel. Because I think that might be a good way to kind of, include some more people. And I mean, I don't have the most popular Facebook. Like, I mean, I don't have, like, tons of friends or anything like that. And I'm not super into that kind of stuff anyways, so it doesn't bother me that much. But I mean, if I can get a few extra people to come over and hang out with me and, make my algorithm for YouTube nicer or whatever, that's all really helpful to what I want to do. So yeah, I did that, and I also, obviously, I also changed some things on Streamlabs a little bit. There's been some issues with how my Streamlabs account has been working, so I kind of altered some things to kind of try and make it a bit nicer for myself and for a few other, for other people as well. And I mean, I don't know what the immediate effect of that is going to be, but I mean, it doesn't seem like there is going to be an immediate, like, apparent change. I just kind of, like, tried to change some settings on some things to see if, I can get it to work nicer and, make a more comfortable environment for you guys and things like that. So we'll see how that works out, and it might change in the future. So I'm not totally sure yet. I think I want to make, like, I made this, like, pinkish color last time, and it did a lot of really good stuff, and I'm kind of thinking maybe I want to recreate it, but I'm not totally sure yet. Maybe I'll add, I'm thinking, like, some black for some land masses down here, and maybe some white to kind of, like, add, like, a mist coloration to the top of the purple water. So I'm not totally sure what I'm doing yet. But I know it's going to come together, because it always does. And also, obviously, like I said, like, I originally brought this topic up because of the donation that I received the other day. So I went out of my way to buy a nice, and I bought it specifically because I got that very generous donation. I bought a nice lighting setup, and hopefully it'll arrive in a few days, and then I can actually have, like, really nice lighting without, like, having to, like, mess around with this little lamp or whatever. And I'm kind of hoping that that's going to be nice. And, I mean, I bought a relatively nice setup. It's, like, under $50. It was, like, I think, like, $45 or something like that for the setup. And I'm really excited about it. I'm really hoping that it's going to kind of just make the overall environment in which I'm doing things in a lot easier and nicer. Like, that way it's not, I don't know, awkward, I guess? I don't know. Yeah, I am on Facebook, Rebecca. Let me, I guess, I mean, I don't mind having you guys on there. I don't care. Let me see if I can find I'll bring up my Facebook really quick, and I'll go ahead and link you guys in. I don't care. You guys can add me. I just gotta make sure you guys know, I don't really go on Facebook that often. It's not something I'm very heavily interested in. But I mean, I jump on like maybe once or twice a month. I've actually been on Facebook more often than I ever have like yesterday. Like yesterday, I was on it like 5 or 6 times because I was just like changing it so heavily. So I was on it for the largest amount of time that I've ever been on Facebook yesterday. Let me go ahead and throw it into the chat log so you guys can add me if you want to. I think that's right. So yeah, it should be fine. I don't care. There you guys go. You guys can check me out over there if you really want to. There's not a lot going on there. I'll just be straight up with you guys. There's nothing too exciting about my Facebook. But if you guys are curious, there you go. But yeah, so I kind of altered my Facebook. I bought some new equipment that I'm really excited about. Just the lights. That's all I bought. I just wanted the lighting setup. And I do think I might look into some cameras again. Like, I mean, this camera right here is amazing. I love it. It's definitely... I've kind of realized it's better as a face cam than it is as, like, looking at paintings. So I might look for a more expensive camera that is better at showing off more detail when I zoom you guys in. So that's something I'm probably going to work on soon. I might get a better microphone. I'm not totally sure about it. I ain't going to go out and buy some stupid Yeti mic. I mean, if I can find a really high quality microphone that is not super expensive, then I'll go for it. And I mean, everybody wants like the classic, like, oh, well, like you got to use a Yeti, and it's like, well, no, you don't. Like, so we'll definitely see, because I know that this microphone right here that I'm using, I bought it for like $20. I bought it on a whim. This was back when I was first starting my channel, and I had the mentality back then of like, I just want to buy cheap equipment that I don't really care super much about. Like, I don't want to waste a ton of money on something that is not going to be a major part of my life. So when I was just starting out in doing YouTube and stuff like that, I kind of just was like, okay, well, I'm just going to buy this cheap microphone. And, not get too crazy with it right away because I have no idea, like, how all of this is going to turn out. And now it's kind of become that, like, this has now become a major part of my life. It's this, doing YouTube and hanging out with you guys is very... It's become in a very short amount of time very important to me, and I just love doing it and hanging out with you guys. So with that knowledge now that like this is something that I genuinely enjoy doing and love being a part of, I want to actually invest more of my money into it. And like I said, like I might have not bought those lights at all if it wasn't for the absolutely generous donation that Richard Lash gave me. So that's something that has definitely... It's basically like I'm not, saying that I need these donations or anything, but it basically says to me when I get these donations that you guys are enjoying what I'm doing so much that you are willing to very generously, let me have a cut of whatever you guys are making. Well, not a cut. I mean, like, you guys are basically paying for my content, which is very nice, very generous, and way more than I ever expected to ever receive, which is an amazing feeling. And it just makes me want to say... It basically says, like, well, if they enjoy what I'm doing now, I only want to improve what I'm doing now further and further. So I'm just trying to use that money as wisely as I can, specifically for the channel. So, it's awesome. Like, thank you guys so much for that. And, like, and that's the thing, too, is, like, even just having the number of people that I get coming in and out of here, and I know it's not always these huge numbers, either, of people coming in and out and hanging out with me. Just the fact that even, like, maybe two people coming in and hanging out with me, that's two people that are genuinely interested in what I'm doing. And that's, like, I want to, make things better for the 2 or 3 people that come in and hang out, and then I get like the 20 or 30 people who come in and hang out later, when the stream is over. and that just, like I said, I just want to keep doing better for you guys. Like that's been my thought process this whole time, is like I just want to be better and do better. And like, I mean, and obviously, like, I'm already making something that people are enjoying, but I want it to keep improving and I want it to keep getting better for you guys. So that's basically like my main focus in all this, and it's definitely been, I've learned a lot in this very short amount of time, specifically from you guys, and I just want to keep learning and keep improving, if that makes, sense. So I just kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit because it's been a major eye opener, and I don't know if I could have been able to. And I mean, I won't know until it actually gets here, obviously. But um, I I'm really excited for the quality to improve, specifically the lighting, because that's going to be a major boon for the channel. And I was thinking about it all day yesterday after I ordered it, and I've been thinking about it today. So I just kind of wanted to discuss it because I'm very excited to have something that is going to directly and obviously improve this channel. So yeah, yeah, I don't really know, like, what direction these streams are gonna go, because I'm kind of experimenting with a lot of different things. I definitely know that I want to keep painting and keep working on that and things like that. But I'm not 100% sure where this channel's going, because I keep wanting to try different things and experiment and things like that. So, I mean, as long as you guys stick around and, hang out and have a good time and chat with me every once in a while, like, we'll just keep on experimenting and we'll kind of figure out, like, what we're trying to do and have a good time all in the process, Um, so yeah, I definitely want to keep playing video games too, though. I don't want to. I don't really know 100% sure how I feel about all the video game playing. For the first time ever, like, it was specifically with the horror game stream that I did a couple of days ago, which sadly my computer was struggling to run it. I haven't actually tried running it again on this PC yet, because I want to experiment and try to see if I can get it to run better. But I haven't messed with that too much yet. But it was definitely a major struggle, and I'm not 100% sure how I feel about it. So okay, so I'm going to add white here. I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt myself, and kind of try to figure out this white a little bit. I'm kind of adding in these light streaks, and it's supposed to kind of have like this this misty sort of like a rolling mist over the top of the swamp effect. So that's kind of why I'm adding these awkward, well, not awkward, but these weird shades of white that I'm doing here. It's just to kind of add that misty sort of like dank, dark swamp effect, It's kind of like a rolling mist over the top. I always kind of like that effect. I mean, I talk about it so often on these streams all the time that it's just, it's obviously something I really enjoy. Because it kind of adds, it's a simple effect that always adds like a nice deep detail to the overall painting. So I do actually, want to do it that way. Sorry, I was just checking something really quick on my browser. Okay, let me... You know what I want to do, too, is I want to also start making that green effect again, and I kind of want to do some brambly roots over here in the swamps on the sides. Just to kind of, make it look more natural in appearance, kind of mucky and grimy and stuff like that. So, let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna move this off real quick, and just go ahead and tap that microphone. Tap, tap, tap. And I'm going to zoom you guys out so you guys can see my palette a little better. There we go. So I had these different weird greens I had going on last time. So the way that I like to start with the greens is, I mean, normally I like to stick to base colors, but I really love the Patholo Green. I talk about it all the time. This is an amazing color that I love utilizing, and it's really awesome for blues and greens. Um, and blues especially, blues definitely, because it's so nice when I can just have like a little tiny dab of the Patholo Green, and then I just kind of add in a little bit of my aquamarine blue, and then you get this really nice like ocean colored kind of blue, which is very good when you're painting islands and things like that. And because um, I've learned that aquamarine doesn't give you the right kind of blue. You have to have like a more seafoam color, kind of. So that's kind of why I like to use the Patholo Green. So I've laid down some green, and I'm looking for my brush, and I'm going to kind of bring this green over to the side here, right there, just a little bit. And I think I'm going to... How did I do it last time? I must have added yellow and white, is my guess. That's probably what I did. I need some yellow. Like, where's my yellow? Oh yeah, I didn't put it on yet. There's something else really cool that I wanted to talk about, and it was just like really intriguing to me that I'd never noticed before. Is have you guys ever like looked at like a piece of like art and like you notice something interesting about it that you never noticed before, and then you kind of like started like looking at it really carefully and like researching it? I kind of did that with a magic card today, that really deeply fascinated me. Is I was looking at what's the card called? Have you guys ever seen the card? What's it called? Sword of the Meek from, I think it's Future Sight. So I was looking at that. That it's an old piece of equipment. Let me take a look real quick. So it's an old piece of equipment from Future Sight, Sword of the Meek. It's a 2-mana artifact equipment. It says equipped creature gets +1/+2. It has equip 2, and it says whenever a 1/1 creature comes into play under your control, you may return Sword of the Meek from your graveyard to play, then attach it to that creature. So, like, it's a great card. It's actually, like, banned in a couple of formats or something. Specifically because it's part of a really ridiculously powerful combo. Oh, Mr. Ashed's here! I would kind of expect Mr. Ashed to be here because of Rebecca. But, hi, Mr. Ashed. Good to see you, man. But anyways, so this card, Sword of the Meek, deeply, deeply fascinated me today. And the reason why is because I stumbled onto it because I was just kind of like... Sometimes what I do is I look up random cards on the Gatherer and just kind of read about them. And I'll read what people are saying about them. So sometimes I find out, that a card is really strong and I didn't know it was strong before. Or sometimes people will talk about the flavor or, whatever. A lot of the time it's people talking about combos and stuff like that. But I saw this comment that blew my mind when I was reading through the comments page of Sword of the Meek. And basically what happened was this guy pointed out that So there's first of all, there's a whole bunch of really interesting stuff about this card. The Sword of the Meek is a card that is a reference to a card from Legends called Pendelhaven. And it's also a reference to a legendary creature from Legends called Jacques Le Vert. And apparently, Jacques Le Vert was, the hero, the lord or hero of Pendelhaven. And so Pendelhaven has literally, almost the same effect, which is, it's specifically designed for, 1/1s, and it gives +1/+2, which is what Sword of the Meek does. So it's got all this flavor, and supposedly, the Sword of the Meek was, the sword that Jacques Le Vert carried on his back. And if you, look at the art for Jacques Le Vert, he actually has like that sword on his back, and you can like look at the handle. Like you can't see the actual hilt of the blade, but you can see like the handle, and you can tell that the handle of the sword of the Meek is modeled after the handle from the sword on Jacques Levert's back. So right off the bat, like, you know, the Lord of the Lord of Pendelhaven has like a sword that has almost the same effect as what Pendelhaven itself has, which I thought was like right off the bat interesting flavor wise. And Jeb Henlin, hello, how you doing, man? When am I going to sell my own habanero wing sauce? Well, I'll have to get back to you because I promised Clayton that I was eventually going to make my own spicy ketchup. So you know what? I will put you on the list with Clayton that when I make my own special spicy... Ooh, that was close. Guys, I know you guys couldn't see that, but I actually almost dipped my paintbrush in my coffee cup. Don't want to do that. I don't want paint-flavored coffee. I will definitely get into that eventually. We'll figure it out. The whole spicy ketchup thing. But anyways, so that alone, like what I was talking about before with the sword of the Meek being a reference to the character Jacques Levert as well as a reference to Pendelhaven. So that was on its own very interesting. But then I read another comment that basically said that so the famous instant Crowsand Grip, as well as the less known Return to Dust card. So for anybody who's seen Crowsand Grip, it's a 3-mana instant. It says split second, destroy target artifact or enchantment. And then Return to Dust is a 4-mana white instant that says exile target artifact or enchantment. If you cast a spell during your main phase, you may exile up to one other target artifact or enchantment. So the really interesting thing is that the art for the artwork for both Return to Dust as well as Crowsand Grip all use the artwork of the Sword of the Meek. And, like, if you look at them, they're almost exactly the same. Like, from the hilt to, like, I mean, from the handle to the hilt to the blade, they're almost all exactly alike. Now, the reason why that stood out to me so much is those are 3 different pieces of artwork, all done by 4 different people, and all 4 of those people were referencing the artwork off of one another, on top of also referencing old artwork from an old Legends card. And, like, I was just so deeply, like, I was thinking about it so hard today that it blew my mind. I could not believe that there were 4 artists that all were referencing each other's artwork in such a way. So, like, when I say that, that would mean it's, so Sword of the Meek is Franz von Winkle, right? And then Crowsand Grip is Zoltan Boros and Gabor Skaczynski. And then Return to Dust is, what is that? Wayne... I can barely read that word. Wayne something. Let me take a look real quick. Wayne Reynolds. Okay. So, Gabor Skaczynski, Wayne Reynolds, and Franz von Winkle. 4 completely different artists, all referencing the same artwork to each other. And, like, all making artwork that all basically, like, links up. And what's really weird, too, is that the flavor also matches up with what's going on in the actual artwork. Because the sword, like, comes back from the graveyard, right? And the artwork depicts that for all three of the cards really well. Because you have the Crowsand Grip, which is destroying it. But the thing is simply destroying it doesn't completely get rid of it because it can come back later. That's what the blade does. And then on top of that, the Return to Dust finally exiles it and gets rid of it completely. And like that actually matches up with the fact that like you can't stop it from happening. It's still gonna, um, it's going to go away for good by that point. So I don't know. I was so deeply fascinated by it, and I was like thinking about it all day after like reading about it. It blew my mind, and I was like, I've never seen that much like coordination between like that many pieces of artwork, because it's referencing two cards in the past, which is the Pendelhaven and the Jacques Levert, and then on top of that it's like three completely different pieces of art all done by four completely different artists, and they're all just like communicating with each other in some way or another to be able to like make that artwork work together and have that kind of flavor. I was amazed by it. Totally, completely surprised me. And I just was like thinking about it all day. And I was like, I gotta talk about this on stream because I find it so interesting. I just like it when, like flavor and artwork go so well together so seamlessly. You know what I mean? It's so interesting to me because like that's what makes like Magic cards in general so cool, is because like it's not just like your stereotypical card game or whatever, like because there's lots of card games out there, but they do have all these extra things they do to try and like make the game more fascinating and deeper, and they apply it to so many different levels because obviously you have your hardcore gamers who just want the best of the best, and then you have your combo players and stuff like that, but then like the artwork and the flavor, and like for the people like me and other people like my catcher, and even I know for sure some of you guys too feel the same way, like you kind of like it when the art and the flavor text and everything just goes really well together. And I'm a major fan of that kind of stuff, and I just love it when it goes together so seamlessly. And the thing that I really enjoy is that like that's something that is really old. Like those cards that I named off, they're all very old cards, and like, but that's something that I had never noticed before until like today. Like I had never noticed that all those cards were so you know built together and like flavorfully and also mechanically, and it was just like, even after years of those cards existing, I can now in this time period look at those older cards and still find like a level of respect for like how they function, what they were doing, and the level of flavor that they had, that not everybody would have noticed, and I mean, like I said, I didn't even notice it until today. It's just like really cool seeing that kind of stuff, because that's what makes me still love the game to this very day, being able to like look at something that old and still find that level of detail in it. It's a lot of fun, and I think that that's truly like what can continuously allow this game to succeed the way that it does, is because it's constantly evolving, but at the same time, like, people can still look at cards from the past and still find that level of enjoyment from those simple little things. So, from anybody who might have not noticed, I'm kind of adding in these little green vines down here. They're kind of like roots and things like that. I like the effect that it has, especially on this side. Like, this side looks really nice, just kind of like dipping into the water. It also looks a little bit reflective, which I really like, and it's kind of like grungy and, well, not grungy, but grimy looking is probably the better description. This green I'm using is very nice. It worked out very well for what I'm trying to accomplish here, so I'm going to keep working with it. And I just kind of like spread it around and kind of curve it around in different areas, and just kind of adding the light lines here and there to kind of really just make it look all grimy and overgrown with vines and stuff like that. I like the effect. I like it. But yeah, I do kind of hope to keep finding stuff like that. Like, who knows, maybe one day, like, out of, like, what I was thinking after I had this idea after I saw all those cards together like that, because they're cheap cards. I don't know if it's hard to get Sword of the Meek or not, because it was used for like a really broken combo before it was banned and everything. So it's definitely possible that it might be expensive, but I'll take a look eventually. But what I wanted to do, I had this idea earlier, was I wanted to kind of get my hands on all three of those cards, like the Crowsand Grip, the Sword of the Meek, and the Return to Dust. And I wanted to do like a 3-card collage, where you would put all three of the cards, right? Like I would paint all the cards, right? And then you would be able to put all three of them together, and it would all come to be like one painting. Um, I thought that would be super duper cool, so I might try and do that in the future, but I don't really know yet. So we'll definitely see, but it's just this weird idea I had, and like my guess is that I feel like those cards are probably not too expensive, so I might try and like order some online, and just do it as a project one day on stream, and it would be a lot of fun. Um, I'm debating if I want to add more than just these little green vines. Um, Maybe I'll also kind of define some of these lines just a little bit better, just kind of make them sharper looking. Down here in the little water spot. Just like that. Because I have like the bright green, like, well, not bright green, but I have the shaded outlines in the water. But I kind of want just like a little small portion of the lines to really stand out. Not for the whole thing, but you can kind of see what I'm doing here. But yeah, I definitely, I've never done a multiple card collage with magic cards. I've seen people do them before, and I was like, oh, those are so cool. I kind of want to do that. But I've never actually tried to do it, and I thought it would be really fun. I've seen some cool ones online. Another really cool thing is, since Rebecca's in here, I might as well go ahead and tell her. I actually started following that guy who does the altars that you were telling me about. I can't remember what the name of it is off the top of my head, but the one that you recommended to me to look up on Facebook, I actually am following that guy. And he did a set of altars recently that he showed on Facebook, and one of them stood out that was so beautiful. I was like, oh my god, like I want to like do an altar like that. He painted a Birds of Paradise to be a fully expanded piece of art where the only thing that you could see on it, like, it had the original art, obviously, and it had, like, the old school art, like Alpha Beta. Yeah, that's the one, Rebecca, the Commander Cookout podcast. But he did an altar where it was like a full art altar, and you could read the words Birds of Paradise, and you could see the one green mana symbol, but the rest of the entire painting was completely like the rest of the card was all covered up, and he drew like a bunch of islands and a bright, beautiful ocean and like some birds and things like that. And I was absolutely like amazed by how good it looked. I was like, oh my god, like I kind of want to do that. And like, based on how he did it, I felt like that I could probably recreate it, like do something like that. Mm. But when I saw that, it just blew my mind. I was like, oh my god, I want to like paint a Birds of Paradise just like that. It'd be amazing. And like that's the thing that was really cool too, is that like it didn't seem like it was this overly complicated piece, which really like seems nice. Like in other words, like I mean, I can do some pretty complicated things, but it would just be really nice to just do a simplistic one like that. And I am very attracted to doing altars that are full, like, because there's like you can tell with the swamp, like, and other full lands that I've done. Hey, Mono Black, good to see you, man. Thanks for joining. I like to do full art. Like this is how this swamp is being done. This is exactly how I like to do my art pieces. Now, I mean, obviously I do other things other than that. Like I have like, like you guys saw me do like the altars where I do around the text box, which is actually preferred by a lot of people, because they want to be able to still read the card and what it does. But I've also done like full alters for like some really iconic cards. In the sense, when I say iconic, it's that the cards are so well known that you don't need the text box on there for the information of what's going on. And Birds of Paradise is a card that's just like that, because I mean most people know what a Birds of Paradise card does. So that's one of those particular kinds of cards where like you can do a full alter of, and you don't need to worry about people misunderstanding what it does, which I really like. So that's something that I might be interested in trying to do in the future. I've done a few of them in the past. Like one that I'm really proud of is I did a full alter of a what's it called, the Elvish Visionary, which is a 2 mana green elf shaman 1/1 that when it enters the battlefield it draws you a card. And I always really liked that card. I always really loved the art on it. So it was really cool to you know paint one of those. And that was something I did a long time ago, before I actually even had this channel all set up the way that it is now. So, I do enjoy doing full alters like that. And I should probably... I mean, here I am, doing a full altered right in front of you guys. But I kind of want to do, like, more with, like, the regular playing cards, other than just, the lands all the time. But I do gotta admit, I love painting lands. I really love painting lands. They're my favorite. And like I said, it's a lot of the time because there's so much more. Like when I do a full alter like this, like I take up all the space and I do all the things, and it's a lot of fun for me. I really enjoy doing it. Because like I don't know, when I do the other kinds of cards, like where I keep the text box in, I feel like I don't get to really do as much as I want to do with it. So I'm kind of always trying to find ways to do larger alters, like the swamp, for example. Alters where I get to use more painting space. Adding in some white to continue that kind of misting effect. And I'm kind of like trying to also bleed it in with the green that I've added. Just to kind of, give it that foggy kind of appearance. So I kind of like the foggy appearance. It looks cool. There we go. Maybe add a little bit more than that. I mean, I kind of want to cover a few different areas with this light white shade that I'm using here. There. It looks really creepy. I like it. There's one swamp that I did that I absolutely love. It's in my collection. Because I've actually painted a lot of swamps. I, at one point, painted 20 swamps and 20 forests for a deck that I have. And I pretty much don't ever play the deck, but I treat it like an art gallery where I put all my, 20 swamps and well, not 20 swamps, but I did 10 swamps, 10 forests for 20 basic lands total. Painted all of them. And there's a few in there that I really love, and one of my favorite ones that I did was I did a swamp landscape it was the Grixis swamp, which is like the necromancer kind of place, and lot of like the thing about the art. If you guys have ever seen like the artwork for the swamp for Grixis from Alara, it is super gnarly. It's so grody. Like, well, because, like, for anybody who has seen, like, the artwork for, like, Grixis, it's a lot of blood and flesh and dead bodies. It's pretty grotesque. And so I painted a swamp from Grixis. And it is so grody because, like, the hillsides and, like, the hillsides are, like, made of flesh. And, like, there's parts where there's just blood, like, streaming down, like, the side of the hill and stuff like that. So, like, I did this really gruesome artwork where I blew it up. Like, I did the full artwork, and you could see all of the fleshy parts and, like, the bone spires coming out, and there was, like, a little tiny river of blood, and it was, like, drooping. It was, like, streaming down into, like, a black ichor, and it was, ugh, you know, it was fun. It was fun. I love that kind of stuff, because what was really fun is because, like, when you paint stuff like this, because, like, people don't always pay attention to like what's going on in the art for like swamps and like basic lands and stuff like that. But like when you know paint like over the entire card and like really draw out the artwork and stuff like that, you get to pay attention to like the overall landscape on the land card, you know, because like people will just lay down their lands when they're playing the game and they tap them to like use them, but they don't really think about like what's going on in the artwork and you know all that stuff like. And I personally have noticed that when I use lands that I've altered and painted in the way that I've done like this, like you tend to like pay attention to like what's going on in the artwork, and it definitely gives you a different kind of feeling than just using regular you know lands. Uh oh, hold on a second. My paintbrush is acting a little funky here. I think it's because this paper towel is getting a little raggedy. Um, but you know, it's really interesting because even when I'm playing like in a game of Magic, if I use my own like altered like you know cards and stuff, which I do sometimes, um, I really kind of like look harder at the lands than what I would normally do if I was just using regular basics. And I think it's also something to be said about the fact that like Wizards of the Coast is now printing like more full art lands, which is really cool. Like I really like the fact that they're doing that more. It's definitely like it just makes their game stand out more, you know? Like it's really like it makes you I don't know, like it just draws different kinds of people into the game that would otherwise not have an interest in the game. And I really like that they're doing that they're going that direction. And I mean, there are like, I mean, it's funny because I used to be a lot angrier at Wizards of the Coast, you know, for a lot of their really ridiculous decisions about like pricings and things like that and quality and stuff like that. But I do feel like that I have to admit that their overall style of like releasing sets and like they've been changing the flavor on their cards, like you know the lore and how they do art and you know things like that. And I feel like that there has been a significant enough change in their like artwork and stuff like that that it really stands out and it's really kind of nice. Like I feel like it's a change for the better. Now I mean, you know, I always say that they should probably still keep on working on making their you know quality better, but I really like the overall direction that they're heading. Like, I mean, it's not enough to make me a reliable customer for them, but it's definitely something that I've been noticing that I really enjoy more than I used to. And I feel like it's kind of, you know, I don't know, it's just like I'm happy to see that they seem like they're improving their overall direction. Um, Obviously I still want better quality. Like that's not going to change. But I just feel like that they're trying different things, and it's like they want it's like I feel like they're constant like they are in a state of where they're trying to improve themselves, and it's not necessarily that all the improvements they make are good, but I think that they are genuinely trying better, like trying harder, I guess. So you know, that's I kind of want them to keep going in the direction they're headed. But I mean, you know, I also want them to improve their quality. So I don't know. I'm trying to figure out. I kind of went overboard on the white over here, so I was kind of fixing it up with some more green. Um, I was thinking about adding some black, but I'm not sure yet. Bring you guys a little closer into the madness that I have going here. That looks pretty nice. Looks pretty good. Like I said, I do feel like I went overboard with the white a little bit. So I think I'm going to try to fix that a little bit. Just in a few different areas. Not too much, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Sorry, I kind of stop like talking a little bit when I'm focusing on what I'm trying to do. But you know what? I do actually want to add some more white around the skull, but I'm going to leave the vines alone for now because I think that I added too much white on this side and it looks a little funky to me. I mean, it's all right. It's not like it's ruined. It's just that I feel like this side looks nicer because it doesn't have the white over here. So, just for a little bit extra, I'm going to try and add just a little bit more black to that side. Just because I really want it to kind of fit in a bit better, I guess. I guess that's the way to kind of say it. There we go. There we go. Okay. So, yeah, I just want it to kind of blend that white back in a little bit more because it just was starting to look a little weird to me. So I kind of have to, when it starts looking weird to me, I gotta change up my direction and my method. So it's kind of how I roll with that kind of stuff. I do think that looks a lot better though. I really do. Maybe I'll add just a little bit more green off to the side there to really define those vines a little bit better and kind of tone down the white. So let's kind of work on that just a little bit. So we'll add some here, just like that, and then a little bit over here. There we go. And then maybe some over here. Yeah, that's looking a lot better. I really do like this camera. This camera is really good. Hey, Lettuce, how's it going, brother? Good to see you, man. I am finishing up my swamp painting that I started last week, and we're gonna get it done tonight. I'm pretty excited. I kind of am fixing up a small little weird thing that I did, and oh, that looks so much better. That looks so much better. The white was just a little bit much. That was my main problem. It was just a little bit too much, so that's what I wanted to fix. But it's interesting because I definitely feel like I want more white around this area. I just got to keep in mind where I need it the most. So we're going to kind of let that particular area stay as it is. I do want to add just a little bit of black. Let's see here. I'm going to try and get that black in right here. There we go. And that's going to kind of make that area pop just a little bit better. That's nice. That's nice. I like that. Just kind of bring it around this side. There we go. And we'll kind of add like a little line right there. Yeah. Yeah. That's how I like it. Oh, that looks so much better. Yeah, that looks so much better. All right, awesome. Awesome. I'm pretty happy with that. So now we're gonna actually apply the white. I know I keep saying that, and then I get distracted and work on another part of it. But let's actually get the white going, and make sure it's nice and light because I don't want it too heavy. And I'm just gonna kind of add in like some streaks, just here and there, nice and light. There we go. It's definitely got that nice little foggy look to it. Kind of makes it look like creepy and misty and like spooky, scary swamp. Spooky, scary swamp. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of like that. I really do. Kind of bring you guys out just a little bit. See if I can get the light to look just a little less awkward. That's why I said I'm so excited to get the new lighting system, so I don't have to keep tweaking around with this little lamp that I'm using. And the lamp is nice for me, but it looks so not nice for you guys. Like when I'm looking at, you know, the overall setup, and like the light is just so much glare and it's awkward, and really excited for the new lighting setup I'm going to be getting. Kind of bring you guys down just a little bit closer, see if I can get that focus a little bit nicer. Oh, that looks so much better. Okay. I think I'm going to add in, where's my purple? I put my purple somewhere, and I don't know where I put it. Where did I put my purple? Oh, there it is. Haha, more purple. Okay, so I'm going to add in some more purple here. I'm going to put it, like, right around the sides here. I really want to kind of better fill in, like, not better, but, you know, just kind of really fill in the area around the skull. I usually like to kind of find ways to define the mana symbol a little bit better around on the land card when I do full art, because I like it to really stand out. I really do. So sometimes what I do is, like what I'm doing here, I'll apply like a layer of color or whatever that kind of makes the symbol stand out a lot more. Just to make it, you know, like stand out and, you know, look nice. So I added like a layer of purple, a very thin layer of purple around it. And the thing is, too, is that from what I can see very clearly on my side, is that I kind of accidentally went over the actual skull art a little bit with my paint. So I actually have a way of fixing that, which I will be more than happy to show you guys in just a moment. I just want to really make sure I get it nice and filled in. And for anybody who has not seen me do this method, because a lot of the time the thing that I'm about to show you, I do it off camera. I don't like to do it on camera that often. Hey Mike, how you doing? You see your soul through the eyes of the skull. I can understand that. Very funny. Glad to have you in here, Mike. What I like to do is I like to grab a toothpick. Here it is. Here's my little toothpick. And this is a pretty nice, important tool. And I basically dip it in the water. Like I have this, you know, little cup of water here. And I'm dipping it in the water to kind of get it soaked up a little bit. Twitch marbles. That sounds really interesting, Mike. I guess I've never really messed around with Twitch. I keep having problems with my account on Twitch, which is why I don't use it. And it's really funny because my sister wants me to use Twitch more so than YouTube. She doesn't like YouTube. But she wants me to use Twitch, and the problem is I keep having problems with my Twitch account. I can't change my name, and it just, I don't know. It's been a real struggle. The settings don't change when I want them to change. Like, it's not just the name thing. It's I've tried changing like some of the settings for privacy and stuff like that, and it really just keeps fighting me. Like every time I try to mess with it. So I'm kind of using my toothpick here to kind of scratch off the excess paint that is overlapping the skull art. And I try to be very careful with it because you want it to be wet, because the wet helps disintegrate the paint without actually doing damage to the card. And you don't really want to like hard scrape it, because you don't want to add like indentations or anything. You just kind of like go over the paint very lightly and kind of just moisten it up and then scrape it off with the toothpick as lightly as you possibly can. And like I said, I'm just kind of doing it this way because I know that I could clearly see that I had overlapped the paint onto the skull. And I don't like it when it looks that way, so I kind of like to scrape it off because it makes it look nicer. I know somebody is... Hold on a second. Yeah, it is. It is annoying, historian. I don't know why they like what is going on with them and why they have it that way. But I'm super freaking tired of it. Like it makes me just not want to use their platform. And the thing that really is annoying to me too is like I want to use their platform. Like I do. It's and like I do want to utilize it, especially because like my sister in particular, like she really wants me to use it more, and she thinks it's better designed, more efficient, blah 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 blah. Um, but I mean, I really like YouTube a lot, but I do also want to utilize Twitch, and I kind of want to try using other platforms too eventually. So I want to know that that I have those available to me, and it's tough when their options. It's like it's not user friendly, which is really weird. Like it makes it's a major turnoff as a content creator when you're interested in another platform and it's just not user friendly for you. It's obnoxious. And it's like the classic thing of like, well, I'll just take my business elsewhere. Like if you're not going to work with me, then I'm going to work with somebody else. Like I mean, that's what competition's for, Twitch and YouTube and D Live and Mixer and BitChute, all these, streaming and video services and stuff like that. It's just like the competition is there because you're supposed to improve your overall quality. So like if your quality of your platform sucks, I'm going to take my business to a different platform. Hmm. But yeah, it's obnoxious, and I do hope that they improve it because I do want to utilize the platform. Yeah, I definitely hear that a lot, Mike. I definitely know what you're talking about because my sister literally said the exact same thing. Like my sister says, she's like, "Oh well, you're streaming all the time. Like Twitch is the superior platform," and I do get that. But it's just that like they don't want to work with what I have, like all the stuff I'm trying to set up, and that's really obnoxious. If they could just kind of improve their settings, and I also get the impression based on things I hear and read, they don't really listen to their content creators very much. Like because there are people who have problems with Twitch all the time, and they never get heard out, and they definitely don't fix it. I've had like the first time I realized that like I could not change any of my settings for my Twitch account was the first time I ever went over to your channel on Twitch and watched you stream. And that was like probably more than a year ago. So that means that since I first discovered that problem, it's been over a year. And I'm sure they've had plenty of complaints about it. I remember sending them like a complaint about it. It's still not changed after like more than a year. Like what why would I want to utilize a platform that, doesn't listen to its people that are using its platform? Like I mean, like that's an actual serious like problem. Like their settings don't work and they don't let you change anything. And that's a major issue, and they refuse to do anything about it. So, like, why would I want to be part of a platform that doesn't even want to fix, like, how you use their platform? Like, they don't want to fix their settings. They don't want to, like, allow you to, like, actually, properly utilize your own account on it. So why would I want to, like, utilize that? It's just very annoying to me, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I mean, if they actually like took the time to really like fix that stuff, then yeah, sure. Like maybe someday I'll come back and utilize it better and actually build a proper account under my proper name and all that. But until they actually like make the effort to do it, I'm not going to be a part of Twitch. Like I just I'm sorry. Like, because I mean like like I can't exactly remember what my Twitch name is, but I mean I can't change it to my name over here. So it's like like I don't want to do it. Like I have a title. People over here know me under my title, which is very nice. And I would love to carry that title over to Twitch, and they refuse to allow me to do that. So then they can just, I'm sure they do just fine without me, and I do just fine without them, so I'm okay with this. For anybody who is wondering what I've been doing this whole time with the paint, you've probably been seeing me, but not necessarily knowing what I'm doing. I'm thinning down the vines that I made. They were kind of too thick, so I'm kind of toning them down a little bit by adding black, making them thinner, and it also sharpens their color too. It makes them stand out more as well. So, and it's also helping me tone down the white that I accidentally went a little crazy on before. So this is definitely just overall making it nicer looking. And kind of get a good... Alright, yeah, that's looking pretty nice. That's looking pretty nice. I think I might also go back to my purple and add a little bit more into the black. Just to blend from the black to the purple on this side. Just a little bit better. Just a little bit better. One thing that I will say, though, when it comes to platforms, I've been really curious about trying out, like, Mixer. Because, like, it doesn't seem like... I don't really hear many people talk about it. But I am actually interested in trying it out just to have, like, another... platform to utilize, and it seems like that in the future it could get bigger. So like bigger, like for example, because people are like, well, what about BitChute, and stuff like that. And it's like, I don't really see BitChute getting humongous anytime really soon, but I do get this feeling that like Mixer specifically could get really big in a very like relatively soon. So I am actually kind of interested in trying out Mixer to, see how their platform works, see if they're a little more user-friendly. I don't know, like, I don't think I would be able to, completely abandon YouTube. I really like YouTube a lot. Like, I mean, I've been using YouTube since I was like in high school. Like no joke, like go ahead and take a look at how old my YouTube account is. I think it says like 2006 or 2008 or something like that when I first made it. And I have been a user, I mean obviously I haven't been creating, well I mean I do have content that is like 12 years old on my account. But I mean I haven't been utilizing it so much as like a content creation account, but I have been using it for viewing content for years, more than a decade. And I really do like it. Like, I've always kind of had this particular comfort level. It's always felt like it's been there for me, like, no matter what's going on. And I kind of want to stick to it. But, I do like the idea of having options. So, it just kind of depends. I'm at this point where I'm trying to figure out what else I can do with this land. I've kind of done a lot of the details. It's looking pretty nice. It blends really well. I'm wondering if maybe I should go back up to the top area again. I'm not totally sure. I kind of want to... I feel like I do want to do more on the bottom, but I just don't know what it is I want to do with it. I've done all the vines, which is really cool. I've done the mist, like the misting effect. I've filled in the swamp water. I feel like maybe using black to kind of add in like some branches or sticks or something like that might look a bit nicer, like just like some more details. But I'm not 100% sure. Let's see what I can do here. We'll get a little creative and we'll see what happens. So I'm going to dip back into my black over here, and I'm going to just kind of let's see. Let's kind of I want to do something like over here, kind of, like that. I don't know how I feel about that. Maybe define it just a little bit more. Kind of like have it stick out a bit more. And I'm thinking maybe what I'll do too is I'll add more green. Like I'll kind of add like a rotting, mossy effect. One of the things too that I was thinking about doing is maybe adding like a branch that sticks straight out and kind of has like the goopy moss kind of dripping off of it a little bit. That might be kind of cool. Not totally sure about it yet though, but I kind of like. That looks kind of nice. Yeah. Maybe kind of link it up with this one over here. And let's see. I think I want to also add more green closer to these top parts, kind of like almost like it's hanging off, kinda. Yeah, just kind of like that. There we go. Well, I mean, sort of, kinda. Yeah. That does look a little bit better. That does look a little bit better. Another thing, too, that I'm thinking that I like is I like the idea of, like, there being, like, some, like, mossy stuff kind of, like, over dripping into the water off to the side here. So I'm kind of just trying to add some spots that kind of look like it's really, like, mixing into the swamp water off to the sides here. Just like that. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I like the goopy look. The goopy look is nice. Yeah. Maybe like here. If I add a little bit more paint here, I might be able to kind of like add in a streak that kind of like moves with the flow of the water, which would be kind of cool. Yeah, that looks kind of nice. Maybe do it on this side too. That is kind of awkward looking, actually. It happens. I can fix it. I feel like Bob the Builder over here. It's like, I can fix it! I can fix it! Can he fix it? Yes, he can. Oh, man. You know, I've never watched that show in my entire life, but for some reason I know that saying so very well. All those damn, you know, ancient Nickelodeon cartoons that I never watched, but would somehow always get stuck in my head. Yeah, I'm kind of annoyed by that. Let me see if I can kind of add some purple and change that up a little bit, because that got really awkward at the end there. I just kind of like the appearance that it has, where like the goopiness of the green is kind of like mixing in with the water and stuff like that, which is really kind of a nifty looking thing for this particular area of the art. Don't know how else to really describe that, but this particular area of the artwork, and it's got that goopy look. It's like it's all mixing in. It's all goopy and weird and funky. Funkalicious. And let's see. You know what? I'm going to also go back to the white again. Get a little bit more white going on here. So I just added that layer of purple. So we're going to add some more white. There we go. Yeah, I like that. I like that. There. And then another thing too is I want to add purple up here at this portion. I want to kind of like add it as a fading appearance, kind of closer to the top. Let's see. I don't know 100% how I'm going to do this, but let's kind of start like this. We'll just kind of like mix it around. Yeah, that does look alright. It does look alright. Yeah, and then maybe a little bit over here. I like the idea of like it looking like it's almost like ripples on the water a little bit. It's very nice. I wasn't even intentionally trying to do that, but it definitely has that kind of appearance to it, where it's all like mixing and rippling and stuff like that. It's got a nice effect. A nice effect on it. Yeah. And then maybe a little bit on this side right here. I like it. I like it. I like it. Yeah. And, let me try something else. I'm going to kind of like add a little bit of black up close to the top. And the idea is like I'm trying to like get all these colors to like really mesh with each other. Because that really, yeah, there we go. Is that too dark? If I just kind of spread it out a bit more, add some in there because that was looking a little weird. There we go. There we go. And now I want to like, kind of like, the hardest part is getting this purple and this black to like work together. That's the tough part. And I mean, I know I can do it. I know I can do it, but it's definitely making me work hard for it, you know? Let's see. Yeah, that looks a bit better. Looks a bit better. There, that does look nicer. Yeah, that's awesome. Awesome, okay. Just add a little bit more on this side. Add some over here. Yeah. Yeah, that looks nice. I like that. I really do like that. Another thing too is I kind of want to add like a light layer of black up on the top, close to the little skelly man. Well, skelly beast, I guess. Well, hold on, a couple of things. So first, I want to just add like a light layer of green right there. A little bit more here too. There we go. Yeah, just like that. Just like that. Yeah. Yeah, that's about right. That's about right. And then I'm also going to bring back my black again. And I'm going to try to tone down the really bright greens closer to the top. So, I'm going to just very, very lightly, very lightly, I'm going to just very carefully try to kind of tone down these greens a little bit. I just don't want them to glow in the dark at this top part. Like, it's nice down here, but up here closer to the top, it kind of like clashes with the skeleton. So I kind of want to like add just a little bit of black to these particular ones up close to the top to just kind of fade them out just enough. Like, you can still see them. They still look green, but they're also toned down just a little bit because it's further to the top where the skeleton is, which is a little bit of a different shade. It's just a little bit darker. But I do like the idea that as they get closer to the bottom over here, they get brighter. Kind of gives it like it gives you a perspective of like how far you are, kind of like background versus foreground a little bit. Like as you look further into the background, it gets a little darker. So that's kind of what I'm accomplishing with that. And that does look nicer. I actually think that helped a lot. I really do. Let's see here. Yeah. I think I want to add just a little bit more. I'm going to add it up here, closer to the tree roots. Just a little bit. Trying to be pretty light with it. I don't want to completely black it out. That would not be the goal of what I'm trying to do here. I'm just trying to get these to blend better. Because it's a little bright. Just a little bright. Yeah, that looks better. That looks much better. Okay. Alright. And what else? What else? What else? What else? What else sneaky shenanigans can I do with this card? I'm actually starting to feel like it's pretty much done. Like, I don't really know like what else I want to do with it, because I'm really happy with what I've got going on down here. It looks very nice. It's very eerie and creepy and gnarly looking, which I really like. It looks very swampy. Very, very swampy. I don't know. Just kind of giving it an overview. I think I might say I'm done. I might say I'm done. I think that I might end this stream off a little earlier. And I mean, that happens sometimes. Like, I mean, you know, the first portion is always going to be the longest my full 2 hours, and then I'm never sure how the second portion's going to be. But I'm feeling pretty done with it. Like, it looks good. It feels good. It looks very creepy. I think it's got a good atmosphere to it. It's definitely, I really like the pinks and purples and the little bit of yellow I have off to the side here. It just looks really nice. I think that it came out looking pretty darn good. I will, hold on, you know what? Something is kind of standing out to me. Just because it looks weird. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take these ones over here, like these little vines, and just kind of add like a little teeny tiny bit of black to it. Maybe that's too much. Might have to fade that out a little bit. There we go. That actually doesn't look that bad. I was kind of nervous because this one in particular is very dark. But I think that, I mean, maybe that one can be toned down a bit. But these ones over here, the black really helps it. So I'm going to kind of add just a little bit more. There we go. Yeah, there. Alright. Maybe just some more. So right here. Can I? Nope, I didn't put enough on there. Okay. So maybe right there. Yeah. Kind of like trying to readjust my eyes here so it looks right to me. But that really bugs me. This one right here, this line right here is way, way too dark. So I'm going to try and change that up just a little bit. Just a little bit. And I think I am, like, once I get these last few details set up, I think I am going to probably wrap it up. Oh, that looks so much better. That purple blends really good with the black. It really does. Yeah. pretty happy with that. I got a good lighting on it right there. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Alright. What do you guys think? I think I got it to where I like it. There we go. Kind of see if I can get it to focus a little bit better. Whoop. There we go. Oh, not quite. Not quite. Okay. I think I'm going to say that that's the finished product. I'm pretty... Oh, God, I thought I had it. I'm just trying to get it to focus and look nice for you guys. Like I said, I might be looking into another camera pretty soon here. Maybe something a little more particular for focusing on artwork and things like that. I think that might help. But yeah, I think that I'm pretty happy with this, and I think I'm going to call this art stream here. Yeah, it's looking nice. It's looking nice. I'm pretty happy. So you know what? I think I'm going to wrap it up. And I really want to thank you guys all so much for being here and hanging out with me. I love painting, so thank you guys so much for coming in here and being a part of what I love, which is painting. And like I said, like I was talking about earlier, like I will definitely be trying different kinds of streams. I'm doing a lot of experimenting with the channel, trying to improve the quality, trying to improve the content. I'm slowly learning things. I've been kind of messing around with Streamlabs a bit more. I did change some things, so I am kind of hoping that that those changes are significant enough to, you know, make the quality look nicer, seem nicer overall. So, you know, I appreciate you guys wanting to be here, even though I don't have the absolute most spectacular quality channel. But every day I'm working on trying to make that better. So, alright. Thank you guys so much for being here. All, you know, 5, 6, 7 of you. I've seen, you know, Chris Gott, Mono Black, Rebecca, Lettuce, Mr. Magic Historian. I know Wrath of Wood was in here a little bit earlier. Mr. Shed, Pink Peacock, Jeb Hanlon. Wow, I had a bunch of you guys in here today. Very cool. And like I said, I'm really happy that we've hit the 80 subscriber mark. And I'm working towards that 100. The 100 is the next milestone. So I'll be doing something special if I hit 100 subscribers. I'm really excited about it. So we're going to get there soon. So once again, thank you all so much for being out here. I had a great time. I'll hope to see you guys in the next stream, which will have to be next week because I have to do my work and all that. I have to go to work and all that stuff. So I'll see you guys next time. Follow your dreams, guys. Have a great night. See ya.